Clock 1 p.m. Eastern. If you're just joining us, thank you so much and welcome yet again to the Fox 5 Live Zone. I'm your host, Guy Lambert. Top story this hour, all eyes remain on the Strait of Hormuz. That's where, according to U.S. President Donald Trump, U.S. naval ships will now assist those ships that hope to make their way through the strait. However, Iran says not so fast. Joining us to discuss this and so much more is Mr. Harley Lippman, foreign policy expert, back here on the Live Zone. Harley, it's always good to see you, my friend. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. The pleasure is mine.
Harley, we were just getting word minutes ago that the U.S. military has destroyed 6 Iranian small boats and intercepted Iranian cruise missiles in drones fired by Tehran as the U.S. launches an operation to free the shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Many would argue this is truly a violation of the ceasefire deal that's currently in place. What say you, sir?
Absolutely it is. And I think this gives President Trump the opportunity to take decisive action and stop this tit for tat, which is not serving the United States well, and try to create a decisive outcome. Everybody in this country wants closure, even those who may not have been in favor of the war. And I think it's essential for the United States to accomplish the opening of the Straits of Hormuz for reasons I think we all know, where 20 to 25% of the world's energy flows through that. And it would create a dangerous precedent if we were to allow a country, Iran, to blackmail nations in paying a toll to use an internationally open waterway. People have to keep in mind that worldwide trade is done on the water. 90% of all world trade is done through the oceans. So if you establish that precedent that a nation can effectively blackmail and extort other nations to use an open internationally recognized waterway, you could do it in all the other choke points around the world. The Straits of Mandeb, where Yemen is, Malacca Straits, where Indonesia is, and the world, the economy could be brought to a halt with that kind of blackmail. So it's essential that President Trump make sure Iran cannot do that.
Harley, let's play Monday morning, or afternoon rather, quarterback here. In this case, I want to discuss some of the reasons why we, being the U.S., should not have gone to war, and what are, well, let's say 1 or 2 reasons that one would advocate that we should have gone to war.
Well, the critics will say that there was no strategy laid out, there's no exit plan, that President Trump did not come to the American people and explain his war objectives and what he's trying to accomplish by going to war with Iran, that it depleted a stockpile of weapons that we have, that it gave more money to Russia because oil prices have gone up. The Russian economy is starving with their war with Ukraine, and with higher oil prices, Russia is able to make more money because they're an oil exporter. This has caused friction with our allies. And I'd say those are probably the reasons where people would be critical of going to war against Iran.
No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now, for the pluses, I would say that the reasons too why it was wise to have done that is that Iran does and still is a existential threat to the United States. No nation in American history, and we're about to celebrate our 250th birthday, has ever been more obsessed with destroying America than Iran. They've been at war with the United States for 47 years. And every American president has not really addressed it. We've heard this before, but they all kick the can down the road and pass it on to the next president. The other reason is that Iran is, besides being a threat to the United States, and I'll give you one good reason for that, Iran has missiles that could reach Israel, yet they're trying to have missiles that could reach the United States. intercontinental ballistic missiles. Why would they want to do that if they don't want to reach the United States? This is where people let denial and fear get in the way of their judgment. How could America take the risk when a nation is saying they want to destroy America for 47 years? It's arrogance to think we know better what they mean than their own words. You have to believe your adversary when they say that. Also, they're a threat to the region. They are truly today's colonialist and imperialist power. They have taken over Lebanon. Lebanon is not a free and independent country. They use what is called a proxy, Hezbollah, to do what Iran wants, but they're not doing what's in the best interest of the Lebanese people. The same is true with Yemen and Iraq. It was true in Syria. So Iran is playing the role of an imperialist conqueror that leaves these nations bankrupt, the people in poverty like their own citizens. And the leadership is nothing more than corrupt a dictator. It's a military junta now that just enriches this small group that controls the nation to the sacrifice of the Iranian people.
Harley, while you were speaking, we just got word that President Trump, according to Fox News, that President Trump now threatening that Iran will be blown off the face of the earth if the Islamic Republic attacks U.S. ships guiding vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. So yet again, the rhetoric, if you will, escalating from President Trump.
Right. And I know a lot of people don't like that, and I get that. But I think they have to look at the objectives and what it accomplishes. And I think he has his own style, and we have to look at outcomes. And again, I think that President Trump has shown great strategic courage by taking on Iran. What would we wait for? They were able to develop a nuclear weapon in a very short time. Yes, it's debatable. Some say weeks, some say months, whatever it is. It's around the corner. That's pretty clear. And you're going to allow them to do that when they say they want to destroy America? That would be reckless and irresponsible, to say the least. They're very likely to do it. Unlike, let's say, China and Russia, that are our adversaries, but mostly want to dominate the world economically, particularly China. I wouldn't say that China necessarily wants to destroy America, but one nation on this planet certainly wants to do that. And I think that Trump's style, while a lot of people are offended by it and don't like it, they have to get beyond their hatred of Trump or their dislike with his style. Iran is the equivalent of what Nazi Germany was to the United States in the 1940s. That's what Iran is today. And that's how we have to address this.
Well said. We'll have to leave it there, Harley. Yet again, Mr. Harley Lippman, foreign policy expert, joining us on the Live Zone. I truly appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
All right, folks, we'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back.